Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Cash, and this is Trucker News. I'm an illiterate truck driver, and I'm going to read the news stories that I think you need to know. So sit back, relax, don't worry about reading. I'm going to try it for you. And welcome to the best trucker news on YouTube. Hell, like I always say, if you're watching Trucker News and the guy can read, I'd question whether he's even a trucker or not. I'm just saying, question them. All right, let's get to the news stories of the day. I got some good ones for you. Nagel is going to buy another trucking company. That's what they like to do. The Nebraska government says Werner's denying the rumors that they were going to bring over foreign drivers from Kenya. A driver experiencing a medical emergency in a 5-mile-an-hour police chase that ended in a battering ram is now suing the police. New York trucking company owner arrested after drugs and assault rifles are seized by the FBI and the IRS in a raid. Damn it, Bobby. A dump truck driver loses license and is fired on the scene for a rollover crash. Iowa City's going to start full enforcement of noise camera program to combat trucks with loud Jake brakes. Also, a driver's been arrested for strapping up in the middle of the road and swinging a pipe at motorists as they try to get around. Okay. Man sentenced for helping give passing CDL skills test scores to 4 Massachusetts state troopers that didn't even take an exam. A bill is going to require weigh stations along interstates to check truckers for English and CDL compliance. The FMCSA broker transparency rule has been pushed back to 2026. And the opinion piece of the day, truck driving parents, if you want to call them that, have been charged with abuse after they left their 3 kids in a rig parked at a fuel island. There it is, folks. Let's get into these news stories. What's happening today in trucking? I got it all for you right here. Stick with me. Be sure to hit that like button. Nagel acquisition creates company with 115 trucks, $45 million in revenue. Nagel Companies has acquired another trucking company to create operations expected to make $45 million in revenue. Nagel Companies announced the acquisition of Candle Transport on August 25th. Both Nagel and Candle specialize in refrigerated trucking services. The combined fleets make a company with 115 trucks, 200 trailers, and $45 million in revenue. Nagel says the acquisition will provide advantages for both companies, including access to Candle's operations within Canada and increase their negotiating power. So there you go. If you work for either one of those companies, they are fixing to become one company. It says this partnership allows Candle to remain true to who we are while also giving us access to resources that will strengthen our long-term future, said Jack Daniels of Candle Transport. Our drivers and staff and customers will benefit from the expanded opportunities, modern technology, and operational expertise that comes with being part of the Nagel family. There you go. Apparently everybody thinks that's a good deal. The Nebraska government says Werner's denies rumors of a deal with Kenya to bring in foreign drivers. I don't know. I got questions about Werner. They always up to something like this. Werner, to me, in my opinion, Werner is just like one of the shadiest companies in all of trucking. Like, they just are. Like, every little thing they do, they try to just always trying to get over on somebody, in my opinion. The government of Nebraska and Werner Enterprises are both denying rumors that they intended to participate in a deal with Kenya to bring in foreign drivers. Secretary of State Bob Evine or something like that, returned to Nebraska on Wednesday, September 10th, after a trip to Kenya that ended in the signing of a memorandum of understanding. The memorandum was signed on September 2nd. The trip sparked rumors that the state of Nebraska intended to bring foreign truck drivers from Kenya to alleviate the alleged driver shortage. Yeah, I'm glad they say alleged there, because anybody out here driving a truck, no, we ain't got no truck driver shortage. That's a fallacy made up by the ATA and all those garbage companies that are a participant in the ATA. That's my opinion, in my opinion solely. And that's just the way I see how things work. Aveen office states that the trip was focused primarily on the promotion of Nebraska's corn, ethanol, and dried distillers grains and irrigation technologies. There you go. They say, hey, we're just trying to help them folks grow some food like we do here in Nebraska. That way everybody can cut the sleeves off their flannel shirts and walk around like they're from Nebraska. Oh, driver experiencing a medical emergency in a 5-mile-an-hour police chase that ended in a battering ram. Yeah, they took it to this boy's truck. They beat the whole passenger side door in with a damn battering ram. Police chase that ended in a battering ram, now suing Houston deputies. Come on now. The truck driver involved in slow-moving police chase through Houston that ended in the use of a battering ram is now suing the deputies for using excessive force on him during a medical emergency. Truck driver Trindad Cutshaw led police on a hour-long 5-mile-an-hour police pursuit along I-10 East Freeway in Houston, Texas back in December of 2023. Harris Sheriff deputies eventually called in the SWAT team, and the battering ram was used to remove Cutshaw from the truck. Cutshaw was then bitten by a canine officer while police allegedly beat him, sprayed him with tear gas, and used rubber bullets. Damn it, boy, I'm having a heart attack. Maybe a dog bite will fix it. Damn it, I hate it for this old boy. That is crazy. His attorney claims that he was suffering from serious medical emergency at the time of the police chase. Cutshaw was perceived to have some level of impairment by officers at the time of his arrest and had revved the engine at them. Cutshaw was charged with evading arrest and detention in a motor vehicle. Since then, prosecutors dismissed the evading charge against him less than a month before his trial. Cutshaw's attorneys, Garrett Gibson, says that prosecutors likely dismissed the charges because they were presented with evidence that Cutshaw was suffering from sepsis. I don't know. I'm illiterate. I'm a truck driver. That's a medical term. I don't know. But it says he was suffering at the time. So his lawyer said he had a medical condition that was causing him to completely black out, Gibson explained, adding that Cutshaw had no idea he was being pursued by police. Damn it. I hate that. Qualified immunity does not apply when there's a German Shepherd shredding your arm while two other men are punching my client in the back of the skull repeatedly with their bare fist. There were absolutely no weapons in the vehicle that could harm anybody. There was no threat level. I think that anybody would have trouble exiting a vehicle if they were unconscious and about to die. The medical emergency, all they had to do was cuff him, de-escalate the perceived threat, even though there was none, and then offer medical aid. Yeah, the police don't know what's going on, and they get all this adrenaline built up, because the guy's cruising along. But I mean, honestly, if he's not trying to danger anybody and he's going 5 miles an hour, maybe use that big ass SWAT vehicle, get in front of his truck and stop his truck. Maybe help him out, not ram the whole side of the truck in and then drag him out and let your dog bite him and beat the hell out of him. I hope he wins this lawsuit. These police dogs have got to be controlled. You can't have them running around biting people like this. It's madness to me. I don't get it. New York trucking company owner arrested after drugs and assault rifles were seized by the FBI and the IRS. Damn it, Bobby. Federal agents arrested trucking company owner after weapons and drugs were seized from 4 different Long Island locations as part of a raid. Damn it, what kind of trucking are they doing? On September 9th, Kingsley McDonald, owner of McDonald Logistics, was arrested and charged with conspiracy to distribute and possession with intent to distribute 400 or more grams of fentanyl. Whoo, I'm glad they got this bitch. And with distributing and possessing with intent to distribute 40 or more grams of fentanyl. Damn, that boy was loaded up with some fentanyl. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York searched served a search warrant at a storage facility located in Farmingdale, New York, and uncovered 5 kilograms of fentanyl in plastic bags containing 1 kilogram of additional controlled substance, an AK-47, an AR-15, and a .357 revolver were confiscated as well. Quantities of the firearm ammunition, also confiscated were quantities of firearm ammunition, a kilogram press, and about 15 grams of marijuana. Damn it, boy. They getting wild up there, ain't they? That's a pretty crazy story. Dump truck driver loses license and fired at the scene after he rolls over his dump truck while out on a little DUI patrol. Come on. Damn it, boy. A dump truck driver faces serious repercussions after a recent rollover crash, according to the British Columbia Highway Patrol. At 2:30 p.m. on Saturday, on September 4th, British Columbia Highway Patrol responded to a report single vehicle crash on a Louder highway in Deroich. I guess they said Deroich, British Columbia. The 44-year-old truck driver from Aberford was not seriously injured in the rollover crash. After officers arrived and administered a breath test, the reading on the approved screening device was a fail. You failed. While police were investigating the crash scene, the dump truck driver, truck driver's supervisor, arrived and terminated the driver's employment on the spot. You failed and you're fired. Yes. I always recommend, if you're going to fire someone, do it like Vince McMahon from the WWE and give them the "you're fired." That's my representation of that. So they seized his British Columbia driver's license. A ticket for drive without care due to attention was issued. A ticket for an open liquor bottle in a motor vehicle was issued. A 30-day impound on the dump truck. That'll get you fired. For me, it would. And a 90-day immediate roadside prohibition from driving. So damn it, they took it right there on the spot. They said no more for you. And Iowa City's going to start a full enforcement and noise camera program to combat jake breaks. Yeah, they're going to have like microphones up there. This week, the city of Avoca, Iowa, announced plans to move ahead with a full implementation of its noise camera program, which specifically targets semi-trucks and other vehicles using engine compression brakes. Jake brake enforcement starts on September 8th. Avoca City officials said that following the success of the spring program, full implementation and enforcement operations of the noise camera program would begin in October 2025. It's quite the setup they got up there on the pole. The noise program is concentrated along Highway 59 and uses calibrated microphones and high-resolution cameras to detect when noise exceeds ordinance limits, capturing brief audio and video of the vehicle. The video is then reviewed by a staffer and violations are issued through city citations by mail. The city will also install photo enforced signage to let drivers know that the program is in effect. Jake breaks have been a problem in our community for a long time. It's exciting to finally have a way to do something about it. Well, it's not going to stop them, more than likely. You're just going to make money off of it. Which, hey, whatever you're there for, I guess. A driver arrested for strapping up in the middle of the road while wielding a pipe. Truck driver was arrested after threatening motorists with a pipe while strapping up in the middle of the road. The incident happened on September 8th around 1 p.m. Ohio Street in Salina, Kansas. This happened in Kansas. According to the Salina Post, 47-year-old truck driver Justin Scott was stopped in the middle of the road to strap his load and had straps lying across one of the northbound lanes blocking traffic. Motorists asked Scott to move the straps, but he refused to do so. So one motorist exited his vehicle to move the straps himself. Scott then moved the strap back into the lane of traffic and grabbed a pipe from his semi-truck. Scott then threatened the motorist with the pipe, so motorist returned to his vehicle and drove away. As he drove away, Scott struck the vehicle with the pipe, causing approximately $2,000 worth of damage. Officers were called to the scene and arrested Scott. He was booked into the Salina County Jail on aggravated assault and battery and criminal damage to property. Yeah, he can't be doing all that, guy. What are you thinking? Like, I know what it is. He went to pick up a load, and they said, hey, you can't strap that down on our property, which is the dumbest thing ever in trucking. I'm going to tell you right now, flatbed, when they tell you, hey, we're going to put this load on your truck, but you can't possibly strap it down on our yard. I mean, what the hell is that about, right? Man sentenced for helping to give passing CDL skill scores to 4 Massachusetts state trooper who did not even take the exam. Damn it. This week, a man was sentenced to prison for conspiring to give passing commercial driver's license skills tests to several Massachusetts state police officers who did not even take a test. Scott Camerer, 44, was sentenced to 1 month in prison to be followed by 1 year of supervised probation. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Massachusetts, in January 2024, Camara pled guilty to 1 count of conspiracy to falsify records and 1 count of perjury, making false statements to the federal grand jury. He's in some real mess. There you go. Don't be giving out CDL tests. A bill to require weigh stations along the interstate to check truckers for English and CDL compliance. A Florida congressman introduced new legislation to require that all weigh stations check commercial driver's license for irregularities and verify English language proficiency of truckers passing through facilities. On September 9th, Florida Representative Byron Donalds announced the new bill, H.R. 5177, also known as Weigh Station Enforcement to Intercept and Guard Highways, also known as Weigh Act. Specifically, the Weigh Act empowers the Department of Transportation to utilize weigh stations along the interstate highway to enforce President Trump's April 28th executive order entitled Enforce Common Sense Rule of the Road for America's Truck Drivers. Directs DOT to ensure states enforce English language proficiency requirements and review CDLs for irregularities during checks at weigh stations that fail to comply with weigh station enforcement protocols set by the Secretary of Transportation, which will revocation of their CDL program authority and federal highway dollars. There you go. FMCSA broker transparency rule has been pushed back. Damn it. Truck drivers awaiting the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration freight broker transparency rule will have to keep waiting until next spring, according to the latest federal regulatory agenda. A second notice of proposal rulemaking on the FMCSA's transparency in property broker transactions is slated to be pushed until May 2026 now. There you go. So if you were hoping for broker transparency, you gotta wait till 2026 at least. Truck driving parents have been charged with abuse after leaving 3 kids in a rig parked at the fuel island for 3 hours. The truck driving parents of 3 children are facing charges after leaving their kids in the truck parked at the fuel island for hours as they went shopping. I think they ought to be drug out in the street and beat just for sitting at the fuel island for 3 hours, these pieces of crap. The incident happened at a Marathon truck stop in Riviera Beach, Florida on Monday, September 8th. According to the NBC Miami police, they were called after truck stop employees noticed a semi-truck parked at the fuel island for 3 hours without moving. Police arrived to find a 20-month-old, a 5-year-old, and a 16-year-old inside of the truck cab without their parents. Police then entered the truck and found a loaded 9mm handgun just sitting on the floorboard of the truck. Whoo, boy, these people are just doing it. Officers eventually located the driving parents, 37-year-old, oh, you're going to love these names, Torquita Griffin, and 26-year-old Ante Lorenzo Williams Armstrong. Son of a bitch, he got some names. A nearby store, they found him in a nearby store. When questioned, Griffin confirmed that the gun was hers and stated that she had a concealed weapons permit. The message here is that gun ownership comes with responsibilities, and leaving a fully loaded gun with a 5-year-old and a 20-month-old where children could get it were certainly could have had a much more severe consequences, said Mike Jackles, spokesman for the Riviera Beach Police. Armstrong was charged with trespassing, while Griffin was charged with child abuse, neglect, and unsafe storage of a firearm. Yes, can we get those people drug out in the street and bitten by a German Shepherd? Please, just for me. Anyway, that's Trucker News, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button on the way out. If you want more Trucker News, hit that subscribe button. And remember, this is the best trucking news you can find on the internet. I'm just saying, I've looked the whole internet. I've looked at everything on the internet, and this is the best trucker news out there. So be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Until next time, take care of each other. And remember, people are more important than trucking. Quick, I just want to remind everybody about the Mudflap app. If you're not using Mudflap, check it out, download it. It should be part of your fueling program. It's a free app. Go download it from the Apple or Android store. You sign up using credit card or bank account. No credit checks, nothing like that. No fuel card needed. Get yourself huge discounts on fuel. It's an amazing free app. It's 100% legit. Sign up using my promo code there, and I'll get $10 in free fuel. You'll get $10 in free fuel. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.